I can make it rain. Oh, do you hear the thunder? Don't let it bring you down. Look up and see the light. You're not alone, don't give up like that. Oh yeah, got a ways to go. Break that wall, let the spirit flow. I know you ain't there yet. Don't stop to catch your breath. You're going higher and higher, higher and higher. Let go, set me free. Got the streets all I need. We're going higher and higher, higher and higher. Oh, keep running. Oh, keep running. Oh, keep running. Reach out, reach out. Oh, keep running.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Broncos going up against the Patriots. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
C.J. Anderson, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. On second down, Anderson. And he's got room. Anderson a first down and more. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Second down following the run. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Fresh set of downs here. Now a give, running right is Anderson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. C.J. Anderson taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Tyreek Hill set to return it. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
Tremendous overall athlete, does everything that you're looking for. Big time in the quarterback run game against their better opponents, but can also operate skillfully from the pocket and can beat you with his mind as well.
In motion, Hill. On 1st and 10, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Room here to run. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
First carry now. This is Johnson. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. A gain of 3, 2nd down. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Here we go. Red 38. Flex round. Flex round.
Out of the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Fake here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's brought down. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Ouch, could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way, like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
Here we go. Ohio. Ohio.
They go play action here on first down. Buying time to his left. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. Off of play action, it's Watson. Flush to his right. Throw complete length side to Cooks. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Here we go.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. If you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
First offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Following the penalty, Anderson. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Watson now to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Tyreek Hill, 79 yards. And the Patriots have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Nifty move. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They give it to Anderson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Able to avoid him at the 40. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Tyreek Hill, 87 yards. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now we look at C.J. Anderson as he trots back out there and gets set to go on offense. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. On second down, here's Rodgers. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Six yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Travis Benjamin, 58 yards. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, oh, this is blocked. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to float this one deep right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Tyreek Hill on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game. because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Benjamin with it over the middle. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Come on, let's go!
The final shot before the break. Watson, he's letting it fly for Cooks. He's got a man, complete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where we check. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken. Successfully. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though?
Absolutely.
Who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down now, Scott, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go!
They'll run with White. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
In motion, Hill. On second down, Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Faking the give. Now Watson. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now it's Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose. Brings up second down. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw on second is Watson. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On second down, here's Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. That time, a 9-play drive, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mike Singletary in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is taken at the 15, and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Patriots take over. Back to the NFL scoreboard for a second, third quarter in Indy. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Let's go.
In motion, Hill. On first down, Watson. And going deep for Hill. It got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Tyreek Hill, 78 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily, put it up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Myles Garrett with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them.
Back now in Foxborough. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Blake Bortles with 1 touchdown pass thus far. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. forced out to his left. And some room to roam now. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Johnson, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here we go. Ohio, flex round, flex round.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Hard throw, incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Here's Matt Darr now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a gain.
Rodgers to throw on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Here's Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. And now they're in the hurry-up. They keep it on the ground. White again. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here we go. 190.
To throw on third down. Watson dancing to his left. He can run. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On the give, this is their fullback. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Time for a break. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And now out come the Patriots. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Let's go.
Throwing now, Watson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
It's caught left side by Cooks. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A big play there for the Patriots. 36 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on third down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance, and he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too. That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Here we go.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Flushed out right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week one. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. And that's incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Rodgers will try again on second down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him, and they haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On third down, Rodgers. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their first of the young season.